Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Jack. Jack is from England in the UK. So let's see what Jack has to say. Enjoy the interview. So, hello, Jack. How are you?
I'm not too bad. How are you?
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
It's all good. It's definitely different.
Amazing. So, tell me, how's your day going so far?
Um, it's going okay. I'm self-employed in the account you found, so lots of my mind is just like scattered right now regarding like what I need to do, what's best to do. Should I do this? Should I do that? And then end up not doing a lot at all. So it's been an okay day. It could have just been better. Is all.
I see. And where are you from?
I'm from England, near Manchester.
Born and raised?
Yes, born and raised.
So, tell me something interesting about your hometown, something that stands out compared with other places in the UK.
I would say, for me, everyone in my town, the town I live in is called Macclesfield. It went a bit popular last year with the football because Macclesfield Town beat Crystal Palace in the FA Cup. Um, people who live in Mac and even around Mac tend to not like Macclesfield. But where I see it differ to other places in England is I think it's just a really simple place and it's easy sort of to get by and to know everything. Like you have your town centre and you have two other areas which are still technically in Mac where you just know where you need to go. Whereas I feel like I enter this place and everything is just scattered quite randomly. So I think Maxfield differs to those places in that sense.
I see. And so far, what has been the highlight of your week?
Ooh, um, oh, that's a question. I'd say maybe the football, England,
Yes.
but I'd say other than that, not much has happened. I see my dad once a week, and that was yesterday. So I love seeing my dad. So it'd be
Oh,
yesterday as well.
great. And as you mentioned already about your run a business, so that's your focus right now.
Yeah, I've had a few different jobs in my past,
Mhm.
and I've been fortunate enough with money as well, where since a young age I've always saved. And I just thought it was, I mean, long story short, I wanted to take a risk and I'm able to fund myself without having a job in the background. So taking the risk with my
So tell me a little
business.
bit, tell me a little bit about your business.
So I sell candles and I sell wax melts. It was a case that my last job, I was working under these people who are younger than me. I'm 23, so having these two people younger than me, I think shows a lot. And I just felt that if they're able to do something, I can. And I was getting a bit fed up at that workplace, and it got a bit cold, and I was thinking, oh well, it's getting closer to Christmas. I kind of want another candle now, and I just thought, well, I've been struggling to think of what I can do for business, what I can make. Let's just see how candles are made. And I looked into it, and fortunately, there was some old empty jam jars. I also had a coworker who had wax because she used to make candles, and I just thought, let's give it a go. And at first, obviously, everything's a test, and it's not going to be perfect straight away. But I just thought it seemed a bit easier than it was supposed to be, and I just thought, you know what, I'll try, I'll do it, I'll do it. And I thought lots of candles are made for more of a feminine audience, and with me being a masculine guy, I thought let's see if I can sort of make that bridge and make more men want candles and maybe sell a lot to women as well and just make them realize that I'm a guy and I like candles and I'm just going to see what we can do and who I can meet.
That's amazing, Jack. I love your concept, and I think you're totally right. I think when you think about the candle, somehow there's this feminine vibe. But I think men, we love candles. I think it's amazing. It becomes bigger and bigger, actually. I have a good friend of mine. He was making candles as well. Now remember, every celebration of the year, like Christmas or Valentine's Day or Father's Day, he was always create something. And I
Yeah.
think amazing. It's a business that you can grow and based in celebrations or occasions,
Mhm.
and as you said about focus maybe male or masculinity. I think it's very clever, actually. Well done. I think it's
Yeah.
it's great start for sure.
Thank you.
Jack, when I start the interview, I always ask my guests on the show to bring something that means a lot to them. So that could
Yeah.
be a gift, a picture, an object. There anything you could share with us?
Yeah, I brought two, and it's because everything that I have from, say, when I was a child is up in the loft and it's in a
Okay.
box. So I've actually brought one of my candles, and it's partly because it's one I've made and it's one I don't really want to sell because partly because of this swirl here. It
Wow.
looks far better in person, I swear. But I just thought this is beautiful, and
You
I don't want to light it. I don't want to do anything with it. I just want to have it in my room.
That's
Uh,
amazing.
and then the other thing I brought, because it doesn't necessarily mean a lot, but down the line it'll be something I could look back on and said this is what started it all.
Uh-huh.
And then I have brought a picture. This is me with my grandfather
Oh,
years
sweet.
ago.
Wow.
He passed away last year, and it's kind of like the first family death I've had to deal with. I apparently dealt with one when I was a little kid, but I don't remember that. And we've had pet deaths and all sorts, but I've never had to deal with losing someone who's so close, and it's just obviously nice to have by the bed.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. Okay. Thanks for sharing. Very personal. Love it.
Yeah,
Jack, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through memories in life and share your point of views?
yeah.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have here my best friend. Full of random fun questions. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to play a song just for us to relax before the first question, okay?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Right, before starting the interview, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about or you don't want to answer, always can take another one, okay?
Yeah, of course.
Amazing. First question is, what's the best advice have you ever received?
I'd say I would say if oh, that's a good question. um, it's something I kind of live by, and it's kind of if you're not trying, then don't try at all. If you want to try something and you give 100%, you give 110. There's no point giving a half-assed attempt. You go all in.
Wow, that's a good one. And actually, it's a good one for your business starting now.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you think about yourself, when you analyze yourself, what's the biggest joy of being Jack? What do you like the most about being you?
Um, I think it's I think the joy is probably the love from family members. I think
Mhm.
I work at my nan's house, so I see her often. Although my parents are divorced, like I still obviously have the love for my mum and the love for my dad. I still have my other grandparents as well, who I don't speak to as often as everyone else, but there's still love there. And
Wow.
I think some people can't relate. I know people can't relate, and I think I'm fortunate enough to be able to have so many family members where there's no issues between my relationships with those people.
Tell me a person in your family or in your circle of friends that when you're feeling the lowest for some reason, this person comes to your mind for you to share. Or maybe at the same time, the same person, when you're feeling the greatest, you feel like, oh my God, I need to share the news. There is someone that comes to your mind?
Um, I often feel like if there's something that I want to share, I'd want to share that with my mum or dad, just
Okay.
simply. I think it also though depends on the type of news. And I was feeling a bit down last week at some point. And although I don't talk to her a lot anymore, I have this old coworker her and another old coworker said they were my work mums. So it was nice to sort of build a relationship with her. And she actually messaged me and checked in on me. And I felt like safe knowing that I could have gone to someone who's an adult, though she isn't a family member. She's not necessarily a friend, but she's someone who's just there. So I think last week I thought about her.
Wow. Okay, so your parents, both of them, they are watching this interview right now and have a moment, an opportunity to send them a message. What would you say? Both they are watching now.
Oh, thank you, and I love you, mum and dad.
Sweet.
Sweet and simple.
And you have brothers and sisters as well or not?
I have a sister, an older sister.
I see. All right. Next question. Let's do it. Hey, Jack from England, in the UK. Next question is, what do you think people need to know about each other before they start a relationship?
I think it's lifestyle. I think it's lifestyle. I think people need to know the lifestyle, but I don't think people should also let people's lifestyle depend on if they should then stop a relationship or not. It's important to know how you can relate with someone, but opposites attract us at the same time. So you could be totally different from what you see on the surface. It's when you go a bit deeper then that really matters, I think.
Tell me about your first kiss and your first crush.
Ooh, I can't remember my first kiss too well. But I can tell you the first kiss I had with my first proper girlfriend.
Okay.
We had met each other. We used to go to the different schools. This was when I was 16. I was still in high school.
Okay.
And we had met up with each other once, and you kind of have that awkwardness because you don't know what they're going to be like in person, and I think it was maybe second time or third time meeting, she was at my house and she had to go. And I think just sort of that in that moment we were hugging and then we just gave each other a kiss and it was quite sweet.
Wow.
First crushes are hard. I even now I always have so many crushes. It's hard. I'm the type to find anyone attractive no matter what. Like if you're a girl, you're attractive. That's it for me.
How do you see the dating scene in your town? Do you think that people they prefer to go on apps, or there is like places that people go for, for a drink or for a meal and suddenly you meet people, or how do you see based on your experience?
I think dating generally nowadays, but also in this town I'm in, is quite difficult. I think for me it's hard because I think everyone has their own mindset, and I think the way they see lots of people nowadays is quite toxic, and it's also hard to truly get to know someone without hearing the negatives from someone else. I feel like everyone, with the town being so small, it takes one person to know the person, and I think you can easily hear something or hear a negative, and then people build that sort of bad mindset around you. So I think dating in this area isn't easy. I think lots of people, if anything, are dating people that are a bit older,
Right.
or younger, or they're dating from town to town. But with the place, there's plenty out there for dates, and we have plenty areas where people can go on walks or go for cafes, go for meals. So what's available is good, but the people around, I wouldn't say are amazing.
And when you are on the dating scene, what's something about the other girl that gets your attention straight away that for you is like a big plus when you are in the dating scene?
I wouldn't say. I think it's looks. I think people don't like talking about looks on a girl, all looks on a boy because they say personality is what really matters. Realistically, I feel like if you love someone for their personality, that's perfect. And I think if you're the complete same as me, personality wise, then I would date you. But then if it's, if we match each other and you're a 10 out of 10, you're beautiful, then that just makes things like better. And you can proudly say to people, look how beautiful my girl is. And realistically, I think you would find the beauty in a partner if they match your personality perfectly anyway. And I don't think in that case looks matter. But I think if you can truly look at your girl and say, wow, ignoring everything else, I would still have a crush on her. If she wasn't the same personality wise, I'd still have a crush on her. Then I think that's a big plus. But with my experience as well with girls, I think if you're dating a girl and you want something that's going to really stand out about them, you just want kindness. That's all you want.
Yeah, I get your point. I think, of course, as you said, of course, people say about personality. I get that. But the first thing is the look. There's no
Yeah,
other way. Your eyes catch and something go like, oh, that's interesting. And
yeah,
sometimes if you have the opportunity to talk or to develop like a conversation or, some socializing, this can go, the person can become even like more
yeah,
beautiful
yeah,
or can destroy everything. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Beauty just goes down. So I get your point, but of course, we shouldn't be afraid to say, of course, the look is something that gets our attention. The looks, that it's a natural thing, but
Yeah,
it can get even better, or it can ruin everything. So
exactly.
it's all about the person. I think the first is the look, and after the personality. I think if it matches both,
Yeah.
it's perfect. You know what I
I
mean?
yeah, I think if you I think it's you've put it perfectly because if I find a really beautiful girl and I start talking to her and then there's a negative and a negative and a negative, I would still see her as a beautiful girl, but I wouldn't find myself attracted to her
Yeah.
anymore. And that's
So
just the difference.
I see, and you said something interesting as well about kindness. I think that gives a beauty, like it goes all the way up. If you
Yeah,
feel kindness, if you see, the person doing something very kind, could be something very simple, but you go like, you know what, that's something interesting to see. It becomes better. I get your point for
yeah.
sure. Next question, let's do it. You like dancing?
Uh, I'd like dancing with a girl. I can't go out to clubs with my friends because they don't dance and they're dead awkward.
Okay, before the next question, let's go back to your business. So tell me so far, what has been the most enjoyable part and what have you find most challenging so far of running your business?
The most enjoyable part is meeting and creating a nice community. I
Hmm.
turned 23 in June, and what was really nice from the people part of my community is quite a few of them came together and made a sort of a digital card, and they also gifted me like a gift voucher, and
Wow.
that was something that really, really touched me and touched my heart because it's kind of like this only happened because I was being myself on a
Wow.
camera and doing a TikTok live, and they joined, and we just sort of like it just went like that, and that's something that's been the biggest joy, just the people around that are truly supporting, and that's strangers. The biggest trouble has been getting a larger following and getting more sales. I started at the very start of the year or the very end of last year, and obviously at that point the temperature just goes up and up, so it will get harder and harder to sell candles and sell stuff that you set on fire. So that's been the trouble. I'm hoping that obviously once it gets a bit cooler, that things will pick up a bit more. But yeah, realistically, I would have loved to do a company with a friend, but for whoever I talked to, that we could never sort of like put our minds on the same thing, and I had to take a leap at some point, and I did it alone.
I see. Yeah, I think it's part of the journey. You know what I mean? You're figuring out the way. It can be highs and lows, and that's the journey. I mean, I look back, go like, oh my god, that was necessary for sure. So everything
Yeah.
counts at the end of the day, for sure. All right. Next question is, what was your favorite part about school?
Um, oh, I don't know. I didn't really enjoy school a lot,
Hmm.
especially high school. I think in the moment, I think I took for granted the friendships I had with some people. And I think when I look back, especially not long after I finished school, I realized how much I saw some people sort of every day. So I think that was probably my favorite part, just seeing the people who at that point, uh, meant a lot to me. And it's just those friendships.
And who was your favorite teacher? Did you have any at the time?
I think the kindest teacher I had was my English teacher, and he was
Hmm.
Mr. Dethick. And it was probably more of a problem for him than anything. He was just a really kind person. If anything, I think he was possibly too laid back. I think he could have been a bit stricter, but I think because of like how simple he was in a way, he made sort of English lesson become a lesson that I wanted to have on the day.
Well, I see. Okay. 3 questions left. Let's do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when you're enjoying, time just flies quick.
I thought you had more. I'm ready for more.
We have more for sure. Okay, good question. What was the last message that you sent on WhatsApp? And what was the last message that you received?
Um, It would have just been about food tonight. My mum sent me some. I don't know how to cook. I'm 23, and the thought of learning to cook just, you know, I can't do it. I can't do it. And my mum, it was just about ready meals, to be honest. Between me and her, and
Uh-huh.
then everything else actually would have. I normally only use WhatsApp to talk to my mum, and I think she also sent pictures of the cats because they're suffering with the heat, so they're just all spread out everywhere around the
Oh,
house.
really? Oh my God, that's so
Yeah,
bad. Oh,
they're okay. One of them, I have three, and one of them loves to sunbathe, and he can handle the sun, and he loves it. The other two just want to be, laid out, spread out, and just try and cool down as much as possible. But I think she was just showing me some pictures.
what are their names? Your cats?
So we got one, and she is called Robin, and she gave birth to four. And we kept two. So
Wow.
the two we kept are called Alex, and then we have another girl called Ria.
Wow. What's the meaning of life for you when you think about life, Jack?
Um, for me, I've I think the meaning of life is the experience, and it's partly why I started my company. I've talked to a girl who's Muslim, and we can't date each other because I can't fathom what she has faith in,
Mhm.
and in all other sort of religions, I don't see an afterlife. I don't think it's nice to think that once I'm dead, like there's nothing more of me. There's no mind. There's no black. It's just stop living. There's nothing, and it's hard to sort of think of it like that. But the meaning of life for me, with that in mind, is that I'm only on here for a certain amount of time. I don't know
Mhm.
how much time I'm actually on Earth for. And if you're going to tell me that for the rest of my life, I should be working a computer job for someone else and have limited time throughout my early 20s to late 50s, maybe early 60s, I just think I would tell you you're wrong. My mind is to achieve as much as possible and to have that bucket list and tick off everything on the bucket list because I don't think I'll be reincarnated to another human. I don't think I'll go to a heaven or a hell where in heaven I can experience this or I think it's more the case that I'm 23, I could live to a good 80 years old. For the last 20 years of that life, I can't do so much. So for the next, you know, 47 years, I've got all this time to try and make a lot of money to then build my dream house, and then to use that money to go to this place and do this and to do that. And I think that's the meaning of life for me, whilst being fair and kind to people along the way. Obviously, I say I don't want to work a computer job. I don't want to be working for someone else. And I think it's because some workplaces can be unfair and unkind. So my thought alongside with my company is to have people work for me, but I want to give them the fair chance to move up and give their ideas, because they're working for my company, but they are my employees. I need to take care of them as much as they take care of me.
And what will be the title of your memoir one day?
Um, say his name. Say his name.
Why is that? What do you think that would be a good one for your title of your memoir?
When I've taught, when I've seen old teachers, especially from primary school, but also high school, lots of people would remember me as my sister's brother. Oh, you're Joanna's brother. And it's kind of like, it didn't always feel nice, because I can understand why she's memorable, as well as I would be memorable to some people. And she would be, oh, you're Jack's sister to some people.
Right.
But I think what I want is, I want to be that person that came from this town that, maybe you didn't like me, or maybe you didn't know me too well, but now you know who I am. So you have to say my name. This is who I am. So now you have to say my name. I'm not this person's brother. I'm not this person's son. I'm Jack, and I'm here.
Wow, very good one. You are find your identity. You are focused. You want that to be your unique
Yeah.
trait about yourself.
Yeah. I don't necessarily want to be world famous, but I want to be respected in the case that I'm more than just this person who has done this in the past, or I want to be known as this person who has maybe been in this person's shadow, or I'm this person who didn't grow up with this many friends, or did this, or they've not done that. I'm now this person who's done all of this, and hopefully that's the future for me.
I'm afraid to say after this interview, you're gonna be well known worldwide. So well done.
Hopefully.
Hopefully one day, you never know.
Yeah.
2 questions left. Let's do it. Okay, next question for you is, what's something you always want to do but you're scared of?
I'm gonna take this in like a more serious way, but to confront people. I think there's so many times when I've had situations where I really want to go up to people and say, "What's your problem?" or "Are you really being serious?" And I have a situation like that right now. I think part of the reason that stops me is because some things aren't too serious, and sometimes you don't need to confront those things. But I think in some situations, I feel like I need to put my foot down more, no matter who it is. I tend to do it more with people who are closer to me, like my mum, and like I voice my opinion more. But I think when it now comes to maybe some form of, I wouldn't say argument, but some form of conversation with this stranger, or this person, I think I need to really put my foot down and say, no, like, this is it, this is that.
Do you cry easily, Jack?
Say again.
Do you cry easily?
No, no.
No?
I think I've gone through a fair amount of situations where I know what my emotions are. I'd say I wouldn't want to. I don't want to sound weird when I say this. I feel my emotions. I feel sad. I feel happy. But I think it's also the case that I know my emotions, so it's not like I'm confused with what I feel. And I think because I know what's caused this, and I can understand where this has come from, I think I can manage myself a lot more.
Amazing. Last question, ready?
Yep.
Let's do it. Last question. Amazing, I got your moves in the end. Before the last question, in the beginning of the interview, you showed a picture very beautifully about your granddad with you as
Yeah.
a young boy. My question for you is, when you think about him, what's the best memory that comes to your mind? And also, what has been the most meaningful lesson you've learned from him?
Oh, the one of them. I've got two. I used to go to his house after school, and that's because my parents would be working, but also it's just my grandparents would want to have me. Same with my other grandparents, alongside with my sister, who is 2 years older, female, and my cousin, who's 3 years older, female. And what was great about my granddad was two memorable moments was he would play football with me all the time. And he wasn't even a football fan, and he never really was. But when you've got a kid who's the only boy, he's the youngest, and he can't really fit in with these two girls who are the same age, getting along. You know, I know he felt the need to probably step in and make sure that I was having fun, and we would always play football together. So I'd say that the general memories, there'd be so many, really, the general memories of that. But another memory would be when he took. I said I needed football shoes, and he took me to a store, and he bought me some football shoes, some quite expensive ones that I really liked. I don't know if my sister or my cousin ever knew that. I don't know if they ever got treated the same, but it's just kind of like he did that because he just wanted me to be happy.
Oh,
And
okay. Do you
he
still have it? Do you still have it or not? Do you still have those trainers or not?
they're in the shed. I would be my feet haven't grown at all since I was maybe 14. I've got small feet.
Right.
And the shoes that he got me were they ended up breaking a bit, but I didn't want to throw them away. So hopefully one day I can actually restore them and go to a good place
Oh,
to restore them, and I would use them because they were so good. So they should be in the shed.
sweet. And the meaningful lesson you've learned from him?
Once again, it's just kind of kindness.
Hmm.
When oftentimes it would be embarrassing, but if he was driving, he saw a person walking a dog. Although this isn't necessarily kindness, he would make those people. He would say, "Are you making sure you're picking up that dog's poo?" And it's kind of like, but the thing is because he meant it in a kind way. It's like you're if you do that, that means no one is stepping in dog poo. But
I see.
when we was at his funeral, and I didn't know this story up until his funeral, my nan is a diehard United fan, Manchester United, and I am as well.
Huh?
And she had a season ticket since for years, and my granddad would take her to the games and take her back. And there was one time where my nan said it was a really good day, it was really sunny, then all of a sudden it starts raining terribly, awfully terribly. And they're in the car and they see a person pushing their disabled son in a wheelchair. And without sort of saying anything to my nan, without asking, he just kind of stops the car, gets out, goes to the boot, and he brings out a big sort of beach umbrella and
Oh,
hands it to the people, and the people then say, "Well, don't you want it back? Like how would we give it to you back?" And he just says, "I don't want it back. I want you to have it." And
so nice.
I think it's just little things like that, and I think something that doesn't mean much to you in the moment can mean so much more to someone else. And I think knowing that even after he passed away just shows that he was never putting on a mask. He was always the same person. And I think if people were a little bit more like him nowadays, there'd be a lot less problems in the world.
Whatever he is right now, I'm sure he's smiling just to know that you're sharing this story, Jack. And I think your connection with your granddad is such a beautiful thing because I think we love our parents, our loved ones, our siblings, but our connection, our grandparents, there's something unique about them. Sometimes it can be more with one of them or, a couple, but I think the connection is just so strong. And I love to see people here sharing their stories with their parents. There are so many people here that shared so many stories like you. And I think it's amazing. It's beautiful to see. Right. Amazing. Okay, last question is, who is a celebrity you admire and why?
I wouldn't say I admire too many celebrities. I think the only one really would be Ronaldo, and
Wow.
I think it's obviously like it's an easy answer, and I don't want to. I'm not all football crazy. I'm sure there's good celebrities out there. Another one would maybe be John Cena, but Ronaldo proved that you should never give up. You should always try and be more and more. And I think what made him a great footballer is not necessarily the skill he had, but more the obsession of being better.
Discipline. Yeah.
And yeah, it's the discipline. Like he blocks out so much, and when you have other footballers who you would say at some point were on the same level as Ronaldo, but then couldn't keep it, just shows how much more he cared about what he was doing. And I think if you ignore it with football and you take it into account for everything, then it means a lot. I mentioned John Cena because of the amount of make a wishes he's done. He's a celebrity. He's got enough money to spend time out of his day to go and meet some sick children that want to see him. And I think that goes back to the whole kindness thing. Like I'm sure there's so many celebrities out there that have maybe thought twice about doing it, but John Cena doesn't seem to really have to think twice. So
Wow, amazing. I think Ronaldo, he left the football with a different mentality. People, see football because of him, the way he, the discipline, he looks after himself, his well-being and everything. I think he took to another level, for sure. He took football to another level. Very
yeah.
inspiring, for sure. Right, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game, okay? I'm going to say some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay? Let's start with money,
Power,
fear.
sharks.
Really?
The only thing I'm scared of is sharks.
Interesting. Family,
Power
life,
and
love.
love.
Yeah.
Hold,
Religion,
faith.
sex.
Amazing.
Your smile. Amazing.
Amazing. I don't get enough of it.
Politics,
Oh, bullshit.
friendship,
Life,
desire,
friendship,
regrets,
people,
success,
everything.
wish,
Friendship,
happiness.
hope,
One word for England.
messy,
One word for Manchester United.
money.
Interesting. And the name of your business, let's see if I'm going to say right. Lucid Sensations.
Yeah, Lucid Sensations UK.
One word for it.
Beginning.
Wow. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your best friend for a coffee, and I'm going to ask your best friend. Define Jack in one positive and one negative word only. What they would say about you?
Kind. And then for the negative, I'd say lonely.
If I would ask the same question to your parents, would be the same answer?
Kind. And the negative, OCD.
Okay. Let's play now Jack and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question. But before that, let's play the music one more time. Let's do it. Okay, but before you ask me the question, people watching this interview right now, maybe they would like to buy some candles from you, or maybe they would like to know a bit more about your business. maybe they would like to connect with you regarding your business? What's something about it that is unique, or what's something about it that's for you you'd like to stand out compared with other business around the UK?
I think the difference between myself and a lot of the bigger companies is I'm someone that cares a lot about what I'm sending out. And I did a video on it sort of saying this is what you can get from a supermarket, and it's cheap and it doesn't smell and it doesn't work, and you can get this from someone who cares and it does smell and it does work and you get your money's worth. And it's I think that's the difference between me and larger companies. I think the difference between me and like smaller businesses like myself, but obviously a bit larger, is I still think it's the person behind it. I think I have good intent because it's not just the candles, it's the future of what the company could be, and it's about the treatment of the customers and it's the treatment of possible employees. And I think with every company, and for some of the jobs I've had, I won't name obviously specific places. I think customers were never a priority with some, and it was more about money. And if someone's watched this whole interview, they know I want money, they know I want success, but realistically, I just want fairness at the same time. And the money along the way would be great, but I just want to make people happy. And if I can do that by supplying a good candle, then that's what I want to do.
That means I'm gonna receive a candle from you tomorrow. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. Amazing. I think, yeah, I think candles it brings nice smell and memories, and remind of people, and it's a great thing for sure. Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, Jack, can I ask me a question now?
To be honest, my question is one you've already asked me, and it's kind of like what I'll change it a bit. What do you believe your purpose of your life is? For say, how old are you? Sorry,
43.
43. So ignoring sort of like what you've done for the past 43 years, what do you think the meaning your purpose is for the rest of your life is now?
Oh my God, what a great question. You know what? It's if you ask me this question, let's say before I start doing the show, the Matchbox, I wouldn't be able to answer that. But since I started doing the show, Jack, you know the feeling when you are creating your business, you are doing your candles, you are put all together. It's the same feeling when I'm here sitting doing the interviews. I have this is the best feeling anyone can have. When I'm here, sitting here doing the interviews, it's the best of me. Literally, I could do that for 24 hours no stop because I feel the greatest. So, based on your question, when I started doing the show, I didn't know where the show would go. For me, when I started doing the show, for me, it was just like having fun, like asking questions, to see people answer random questions. But since I started doing the show, the feedback from people, I could tell you so many stories of people saying how much they enjoyed being here. They talk about things that they never talked to anyone else before. They, open up, they connect. Actually, their people connect with each other through the show. For example, I had an interview here with a lovely photographer from New York City, no, from Connecticut in the US, and another interview with a model from New York City. Guess what? Because of the interview, they met each other, they did a project together. Can you imagine?
Yeah,
So
that's
for
perfect.
it's amazing. Also, another example, I had here a psychologist from Barcelona on the show. Anyway, we had an interview. We talked about his career, about everything. Like a while ago after, he sent me a message, like a year after, William, I'd just like to say thank you to you because somebody watched my interview and now he became my client, my patient because of the
Oh,
interview.
perfect.
I was like, oh my God. So back to your question, Jack,
So you're making a difference.
I don't know if it's a difference, but when I think about that, my purpose is here. It's once a friend of mine, before I started doing the show a long time ago, he said to me, William, I think when I did what I know about you, your personality, I feel like you came to this world to help people. When he said that, I couldn't get it properly at the time, but I think because you talk about kindness, I love being kind, Jack. I love to, I'm not perfect like nobody else, but I watch myself every day. And for me, when I see someone achieving things, when I see someone maybe something very random, I can feel their energy and I feel so happy for that. So I think maybe because he mentioned that. So I think from my purpose here, and when I think about it, it's about maybe, I don't know, let people talk about themselves without any judgments, because the platform is the show here is about people. They come here, they can be themselves without any judgment. So maybe my purpose would be to let people talk, or give a platform where people can be themselves, or create memories and let people talk. And maybe that could be based in helping people, because somehow the platform is helping others. You know what I mean? Maybe to promote their business, connect with others, or express some topics that they never talked before, or healing, or could be anything.
Yeah.
So it, exactly the purpose, I know I have already the purpose, but for me it's such a wide way of answering that can go different directions. So I think for me, it's just for me that my purpose here on the show, or on earth, or my life, is about being myself. And because when you're yourself, trust me, the right people would come, the wrong people would go, and it's okay. It's okay with that. It's not wrong with that. So I think, based on facts, or on the channel and everything, I think my purpose here is just about being myself, and let people around me, or with the platform, be themselves as well, and express the way they are. So yeah, that's my genuine answer for you.
Perfect. I mean, that's great. I'd say you're making a difference. If you're connecting people who then work on projects together, or obviously the psychiatrist, I think he said it was, like you're making the difference. So I think you should be proud of yourself.
I think I'm proud. I think we should, all of us, and I'm so proud about ideas and everything. I feel great. I feel grateful for life, for everything, Jack. You have no ideas, for simple things in life. I think I
Yeah.
learned at a very young age, back in Brazil as a young boy. I remember my mom saying about, just be good to people, because people are gonna be good to you. So those little things. Sometimes as a child, you don't understand, but you keep with your in your mind, and somehow you put in practice. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
somehow it's great. So yeah, thanks for the kind words. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Did you enjoy the interview?
Yeah, I'm ready for a second interview.
Amazing, amazing. Thanks again. And once again, my God, you are so young, and I love your mindset. I love these ambitions that you have. I just wish all the best. You are putting a business together. You're so brave. When I was 19-year old, when I left Brazil on my own, all the way to Europe, when I see younger people like you, I go like, my God, they're full of ideas and this fresh air and everything. Keep going. Put your hard work, you know what I mean? Don't let the downsides, you know what I mean, let you down. Just see as a positive thing and keep going. I'm sure you know that very well, but keep going. Don't let enjoy every step of it, because that's the journey and the most enjoyable part of it. Because when you get there, you go like, amazing. Now I understand why I went through those tough times. So keep going, never give up, and you know what I mean. Focus on your business, what thing is good for you, and follow your intuition, because that's the main thing for you. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Before you go, if you can share a positive message, a positive quote, or anything that you live by.
I'll go back on what I said before, and it's just kind of, I would say to people to be determined, and I'd say, everyone has a different dream, and
Mhm.
your dream could be success, your dream could be some form of relationship with this sort of person. I think if you really care about something, you really want it, then no one's stopping you other than you. You just got to take one step forward and you keep walking, and then you start running and you'll make it. And that's all it should be.
Amazing. Very good. Thanks again. Regards to your family and friends, and we keep in touch. It was a pleasure having you on the show. Okay. Enjoy your weekend, and good luck with England tomorrow.
Yeah. Thank you, William.
Take care. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.